Like we're there. Hola, hola, Miss Michelle. How are you?
I'm good.
Had a good start of the week. You still have rain and all kind of bad weather in your neck of the woods?
No, it stopped, which is not good.
It's gotten
So,
real.
no, it's not good because now that it stopped, the allergy start acting up again.
Oh, hmm. I
So,
understand.
so it's not good. So, but I'm glad to be here and not dying. Oh my, this lighting is so good. Thank you, Dr. Diana. She invested in getting me a good light. So,
My pleasure, my pleasure. Happy you like it.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, so everything was good. Um, I'm good. The weather is hot. Like in the morning, it's really cold and then it get warm. So it makes you sick because you don't know how to dress. Because when you dress, you get, like just really warm. And
Mhm.
then by 10 o'clock, you burn.
So it's
So
almost unpredictable.
very unpredictable.
Never mind.
So,
So
so that's what's happening. So how was your day?
I had a good day. Drove over from Mandeville this afternoon. I left, giving myself enough time that even if there was bad traffic, I still would get home because I wanted to bear in mind that it's 8 o'clock my time and not 9. So I wouldn't be like you.
Exactly. The other day.
Late at the end of the show. So I made it in time. So that is super good. So it was good. I guess I had a good time. I had a good day.
That is good. I'm seeing waiting on everybody to log on.
Yes, people were here.
We're here,
Hello.
we're live, we're ready to go. Michael said, good night, ladies. Good night,
Night,
Michael.
Michael. So good to see you. At least we know that we're out and people are seeing that we're out. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, Mish, today was one of those days that it just caused you to pause for a minute when I looked at the news. And I said, well, they've been making all this hullabaloo about guns and turning in the guns. But it seemed like we forgot to say turn in the knives. No, because there is just this spate of stabbings.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the victims or the offenders are so young.
Very young. Do
No.
not know how to handle their anger issues. And the worst part is, I saw the one today where the stepfather and the son were
Mhm.
fighting over a bathroom. I don't know the
Mhm.
full detail. But he stabbed him up, and then another little child, 13, was stabbed.
Mhm.
I'm
Yes,
wondering,
on Sunday there was a stabbing where the uncle stabbed this 13-year-old, he died. And then today the 16-year-old stepson stabs the 40-odd-year-old stepfather and he dies. And I'm like, no, this is just too much. And they stab the let me tell you, it's just too much. Too much,
yeah,
too much, too much. We can't take it.
yeah, it's too much. I think it could they say we're getting away from the guns. And you're like, but you expect people to go back to the fist fighting, but no, it's whatever they could get to inflict this pain. Like what anger you could have. So like you have to draw something to stab somebody in
You
anger.
know, stab them one time, but the multiple stabbings and
Mm-hmm.
killed
My, my.
over bathroom stepson arrested. That the poor mother in total turmoil. The one with the
Yeah.
uncle and the 13-year-old, the family is in total turmoil. Because where you begin to understand this thing.
Yeah. Oh, my God. How do you address it? Because no, like remember last conversation we were saying that they are bringing it into the school, and it's definitely shows definitely from within the household that stuff needs to be done. But
Mhm.
I guess I don't know
Mhm.
how they could have intervention, but I'm thinking the church or whatever to provide community counseling or how to do conflict resolutions, or even have these different group things at their community centers to teach people how to deal with
Mhm.
their anger. Because
Mhm.
everybody, I guess with COVID, I don't want to blame COVID, but dealing with all
No,
the pent up
blame COVID. Even my
frustration,
poor COVID.
I tell her they get blamed for everything. And going through it all, like people don't know how to deal. And I guess the lack of, interaction with people. People don't know how to talk or things anymore,
No,
how to
but Mish,
communicate.
this is happening in the family circle. They've been together.
Maybe
It's a
a
family.
frustration.
So you're just totally frustrated now. How do you as a teenager stop? So here comes another 16-year-old teenager gone off to lockup, just like the one down in Trelawney, him gone off to lockup, 16, lost.
I remember the girl before that stabbed up the other girl. Remember the fight?
Oh, yes, with the pen in the head and all of that thing. No, we need some serious intervention. And you're quite right, Michelle, that the interventions need to be at the community level. They need to recognize that there is a need for restorative practices, for people to learn how to handle disputes in the family and how to handle disputes in the wider community. And then ultimately it will take it to school.
Yeah, to school. And they know how to deal with other people, or even have some designated community leader that they could go
JP
to.
them don't.
Yeah, to deal with these issues that they're facing.
Yeah, sad.
So that is really sad.
Yeah.
I hate seeing all these murders. Sorry, I'm off screen for a minute. My camera fell. Trying to get back the nice lighting that I had.
I just touch until you get the right one that you had. And lower a little bit and you're good.
Yeah, close enough. But we have some more people logging on, saying good night. Ardell said good night. Janice said good evening, all. Ardell said bless up, ladies. VM said good night, ladies. Mar Scott said good night, good night, good night, good night. Glad you're here. Remember to tell family and friends we're on, and we are ready to go to discuss hot topics.
Yep.
Yeah, so what else is happening?
Well, all right, we can talk about Jamaica just always in the news with something. If it's not one thing, it's another. So the Ministry of Labor is saying to everybody who look in work that look here, we don't have a notice, or we're not associated with this organization that is promising work. So the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is disassociating itself from a World Recruit Program advertisement, which is circulating on social media, seeking to recruit persons for overseas employment. So the advertisement claims that this company is registered with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. The ministry is advising that it is not associated. So I said that to say, don't send no money from foreign to come to help no family member to register with this place, because it is a scam. The ministry is a scam.
Yeah, and it is a big scam that always happens, not only with this company, but other companies that say they're recruiting, and people pay over thousands of dollars, sell their goods, sell their house to get these jobs that they think they're getting. And when the day comes, nobody shows up and it's a fraud. So it's always good. It's great that the ministry sent out a letter, let them know like we're not associated. And hopefully this is filtered out to the wider community, kind of like in rural areas where they don't follow the news as much. So hopefully the MPs, the councillors within the community take it upon themselves to really educate their constituents about this scam, because people do, and it's always heartbreaking when you see these stories. Oh, I spent all my money, this is it, and there's no recourse. Yeah, and there's no recourse for them. So I'm glad the government is stepping up and say we have nothing to do with it, so people can't curse out the government or blame anyone. But they do have to be mindful of any of these organizations that say they're recruiting and that you have to pay money in order to be recruited. You have to be mindful, because oftentimes they don't require you to pay a fee. What they'll do is
a significant fee.
Yeah, because what they'll do is sometimes they will pay upfront for you to travel, and then so oftentimes they'll take it from like your first paycheck and let you reimburse them, but oftentimes they don't require you to make a lump sum payment
upfront.
and good about that. Keisha said, good night, everyone. Lawton said, good night, my favorite ladies. Thank you. Michael Thompson said, I was surprised at the number of women on social media who approved of Will Smith behavior. You heard about that one or saw it?
But they're not going box us up like that.
But it kind of, I don't know. I don't condone violence. I would never do it. People need to, as we just spoke about, learn how to deal with their anger and how to, express themselves, talk about it. But I say everybody is human and we do make mistakes as human. I'm not sure if a mistake, but it's just a learning experience, which more than likely there are consequences, which he would have known, Will, that there will be a consequence for his action. So you just have to man up, face it, because he did, go about it the wrong way. But I understand, sometimes we have a moment of weakness. And who am I to judge? You know what I mean? What would I have done in that situation? I know me, more than likely I would have walked away. But everybody different. But it's a learning experience. Another thing is that people have to be mindful of the words that they use, because sometimes not everybody is going to react the same. And sometimes you push people to a point where you're saying, yes, you are supposed to know how to handle yourself. But as I said, people are humans and you don't know. And we see these things consistently in schools where you see people bullying children, and then these children return to the school with guns, killing, they're saying they bully and other innocent people, or because of people pushing. So you never know. You see in traffic, you see road rage where people, you could just walk away, but sometimes people mounting off themselves, and you see people don't know how to handle it, especially now, and they just go for a gun or whatever, and you're killed senselessly. So even though we want people to be conscious of how they react, we also have to be mindful of what we do and say that might trigger someone. And if you can be kind, be kind. If you don't have nothing good to say, let it be.
For me, the Will Smith's reaction was unwarranted. Chris is doing his job and he's poking fun as he would poke fun at anybody. He says at the end that he had no knowledge. He just simply saw that she had shaved her head and saying, hey, this is he identifies her with a popular character.
Alicia.
So he didn't know anything about an illness, and I'm sure that had he known that, he wouldn't have made such a comment. I think that Will Smith was really, really wrong. And I think too that there should have been an immediate consequence, that when he got his award, they should not have allowed him to do anything except come and collect it and come off of the stage, because him already violate everything decent in walking up there. He was there grinning off him head when the man made the comment, and then it's almost like it's sinking to him, and all these other pent-up issues that he's having with his family and everything, and him just make him just go defend and walk up there calm, assault the man on public TV. You wouldn't have your child watching TV at that hour for some man boxing down each other just like that. And this is a time when somebody of color is being featured and everything is so highlighting it. And this is the kind of baby that you can go up there for go show off his self with.
But I think you're not sure. I just think he just lost it
himself, because
I think he lost it.
Up jacket and thing and go up there. At no point when he was taking that 20 or 30 steps to box the man, him never even think say this is the wrong thing to do. And he would tell his children that they're to count to 10, and he would come to places and tell people, you have to manage yourself. And the biggest stage yet, the biggest thing is where him take him 20 steps, straighten up him pants, box him, straighten up him clothes and come off like nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like as you said, like you don't know what's going on with people. Like as I said, I don't condone, like hitting and like I wouldn't do that. And if you do something like that, you have to deal with the consequences as they come. No excuse about it. But then people have to also, as I said, be mindful. Because as you said, somebody have other issues that sometimes necessarily have nothing to do with you at all. You don't know what's going on in that person's head. You don't know what's going on in their mind. And something like you can't even just breathe too heavily trigger people.
Yeah,
so we
but
have to be mindful.
regardless of what I trigger in you, you must manage yourself. This is the biggest platform. It is inexcusable. The man, if him is him friend, him should say to him, say, man, you forget, say, she has.
I think they said they were no longer friends.
But it no matter all if you're your enemy on the biggest platform, you don't do that. Violence is violence, regardless of what.
It is violence. But we understand. To me, I understand and I get it is wrong. But you know, human make mistakes, and I guess I always sympathize with people. If he was doing it like 100 times, if he does it again, me say I'll annihilate him. Obviously, something is wrong. But you need to go in a therapy. You need to come to terms with whatever is happening. You know, like he obviously is going through something.
If this is going through something to show his love and his adoration and his commitment to his family by being violent, something is wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying, because Will is always a jovial person. That's why to me, like it just all like everybody, even his mother said, like everybody's saying it. It just really all-time character. So there's something else going on with him. Like he's wrong, and I know he's going to deal with the consequences, and he just have to just man up and deal with it. But there's something more, like I you know what I mean? Like there's something going on with him.
Deeper than that, but
it is deeper than it, and we shouldn't like crucify. Because people do.
No, I'm not crucifying him. As simply stating that look here, he should not have done it. It is inexcusable, and I'm not going to excuse it. Not crucifying him, but I'm not excusing it. And to apologize 24 hours later is not the thing. He should have even when he
would it be honest though? You know, like when people force it to apologize, but would he have been honest? He would just be saying it.
When he was making the comment, when he making him closing thing, him should apologize. Or even when he go him after party and a dance, Ray, mammy, Ray, him should have did apologize.
Well, just when they got treated and say, you know what? At least I hit somebody. But and people were cheering him on, like people sympathize with him. But I don't get me wrong, people, it's wrong. Violence is never the answer. He has things he has to deal with and work on. But as I said before, you never know the burden a person has. So you have to be careful of your words too, and how they might trigger people. And read the room, read what is happening. Because I think you can literally tell on people like they're not having a good day or something, and then to be poking. But Will is wrong. He has to learn whatever consequences they take the award. If they don't put him in any more shows, which I think he had millions enough. If he gets sued by Chris, if he, you know, Chris finally report him because he didn't press charges. Chris didn't press charges. So if he finally, because he could still press charges at any point.
Okay.
So if he press charges and then, you know, he's locked up, we have to have his day in court. So for every action, there is a reaction and consequences.
Right, exactly.
So he has to just deal with it head on for what he did.
So if not no better than the man them who stab up the pitney and the pitney who stab up.
That's the same thing. Anger. Yeah, anger. Because the thing is that, you know, he's been smiling and laughing and just taking the punches of all these jokes through these years in regards to him and his wife. And he just exploded. But what he should have done maybe was address every little thing he was upset about with individual people. But I guess he just keep it in and look, unnecessarily explode. But he did. And what can we say?
Mad.
You know, he mad. He had a moment of insanity, which he has to learn. A lot of comments coming in. Oh, people.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Good. Okay, hold on. So Paula said good night. Paula said no, I don't approve of Will Smith's behavior. Veronica said good night, everyone. Marsha said words are very hurtful. Scott. Michael said, come on, Michelle, I'm surprised at you. Why? Michael said Diana stayed the case. Carlene said good night. Paulette said Will Smith is a comedian who makes fun of people all the time. Chris was doing a job and making a joke as a comedian. Lon said it's human to err, so let's move on. He has made a public apology, and that's all that matters.
That's not all that
Carl
matters.
says, what compounded this action for me is twice shouting explicitly at the top of his lungs after he assaulted Chris. He was okay until his cheating wife rolled her eyes. Will is a coward. I hope this doesn't tank his career. He will, however, suffer considerably in Hollywood. Yeah, that's true, but I think Will make enough money. He's gonna be good. Paulette said this is the first time an all-black crew produced an Oscar, and Will's behavior overshadowed the whole show. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Just
Yeah, but how many people watch the Oscar? But yeah, that is true.
And Mandos. Anyway, make us move right along because Michelle just want what we're having now with there.
We're there chat about Will. And what else is up next?
So there is something in the diaspora where a proposal by opposition leader Mark Golding that the Jamaican Senate be expanded to include representation from the diaspora has again struck a chord among nationals in the United States who want to see it done. So there was that, the leader of the opposition put it out there saying, look here, it's about time now. And there was some comment by some persons in the diaspora expressing support of it. I think that the diaspora contributes more than a reasonable amount to the economic development of Jamaica and the economic sustainability of Jamaica and ought to be represented in the Senate. So I'm quite agreed on that. The process for such a selection, I don't know what it should look like, but I believe that with the amount of money UNO send here as remittance and the social issues that UNO support and enable for Jamaica to be able to do, that certainly UNO need to be in the Senate. For some of them in the Nadu Kufum.
That is true. I do see your point about the remittance that assist. And I do see that we are involved and we help out with different departments, whether it's education, health, legal, whatever. We do give back. But my personal opinion is that I don't personally think that the diaspora should be a part of the Senate and what governs Jamaica. The reason why I say this is that we do not reside in Jamaica. We do not have to be, we are not directly impacted by most of the policies in Jamaica. So I don't think we should have a say-so on those things that impact Jamaica. But what I do think though, is that we could be a part of a committee, like to assist with research or provide input, just like how you have the education, that whatever technology, new advancement, we, provide insight to Jamaica and assist them on how to, get ahead. Like I do think we have a lot of value, but things that necessarily work in the US, Australia, England will not necessarily work in Jamaica. But our input, I think, would be important and vital. I think we could be advisors to the government in a capacity, but I don't think that we should be helping, sitting in the Senate to create those policies. That is just my opinion.
Right. And I don't agree with you. I believe that there is sufficient financial, social, and there is sufficient economic and social contribution from the diaspora, and that sitting in the Senate gives an opportunity to help to not to impose. It's not giving any one senator the authority to impose any policy position, but to add another perspective to whatever it is that the dialogue is on. So if we're looking at education and whether or not students, so they say, no, whether or not students should go 2 years in sixth form, is that a practical thing? What is happening? There, another perspective would have been good for people to consider. At the end of the day, the ideas or the perspective of the senator whether the opposition or the independent from the diaspora, is not going to change things one way or the other, but at least there would have been a voice to raise a concern, to put another perspective on the table, to give an opportunity for further thought. So I still believe that yes, the diaspora ought to be represented, because the truth is that at the end of the day, their contribution far outweigh half of the contribution of the others who sit down in there.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like they could contribute in other ways. I don't think they need to sit as a senator to contribute, because they're already doing major impact. As you see, the government does work along with diaspora in regards to a lot of areas, environment, education and health. And they do that, and they do provide input where they have feedback, and they take their feedback under the review. They work with the ambassador. They do other things, all these things like raising funds to give back to the hospital. They do all these things, but not because you provide money necessarily mean you have a right to sit there.
And because it's not like a bite. When you say it that way, you make it sound like you're paying.
Yeah, so like then they buy.
No, but they're not paying for it. Just like how the others get there, where you're considering the merit of their contribution and another perspective. Because there's no way that any territory can operate without recognizing their diaspora and what the diaspora does for the country. More so us in Jamaica, there is no way, no aspect of our operation in Jamaica that could have been achieved minus the diaspora. So
that is true, 100%
it's just a simple way to acknowledge, hey guys, we value your contribution. Have a representative here who can debate the articles that we present, who can just share a perspective. Well, this would have been the outlook. At the end of the day, it's not going to cause the vote to go one way or the other, because the majority of the Senate is held by so unless it's a zozo where you need everybody for vote, then it no matter, because the majority by the government.
Yeah, but the thing is that like an oversight committee, they could do that. Like, I don't think they necessarily mean to occupy the whole Senate seat. And doesn't the Senate have requirements? Because didn't they kick out one guy because he was a US citizen? So they're gonna change it. Like,
you can't be a member of parliament and hold dual citizenship. But they didn't.
So when they kick off Horn, why did he have to step down?
Oh, Horn needed to have given up the US citizenship. But if it is that they're going to do that, then there would have to be some adjustments to the
accommodate
the diaspora. So you say, okay, this person, just like they had to make some adjustment to have an independent appointment, independent senators, so they could make that appointment that these independent senators who reside outside of Jamaica, belong to the diaspora, can hold dual citizenship, continue to hold and serve within particular parameters. Carl is asking how senators are appointed. They are appointed by the leader of the opposition and by the prime minister. So the prime minister appoints X amount of his parties, and the leader of the opposition appoints the others.
Yeah.
They also appoint them based on competencies and knowledge and their ability to review laws and documentation. Half the time they not use none of that. So
yeah, they not do none of that. But that's what I say, like, what they really need to focus on is actually training these people who are going to be senators that are already there within Jamaica and the real functional duties of it, and work with people within Jamaica who are experiencing and are directly impacted, because especially have people that are far removed from Jamaica for like 20, 30 years. And desperately at this age, when they are successful, they're retiring or want to retire, they're doing more and want to be, do a lot of philanthropy work. But do they necessarily know, directly what's impacting the day-to-day of people within Jamaica? And one thing I always hear is like, like I live in the US, like people say, oh, if I was in the US, this would never happen. You know what I mean? Like, and not necessarily because I work here, work in Jamaica. Because like, even like with crime and other things, I'm saying crime because I live in an area, Jacksonville. Crime was bad. they implemented a new policy where they say, you know what? Well, you vote for your sheriff, right? Not appointed. You vote for him, and then he's elected, given his budget. You know, he figured out how he's gonna do his budget, how many police officers he's gonna hire, how he's gonna train them. He looks at the communities where he's gonna disperse them and all these things. Jamaica don't operate like that. But when I say to somebody where I live, you see police on the street, you see them doing this, and police in schools, you know, like you have police officers just for schools or whatever. But I'm coming to Jamaica and say, this is what I see, and this is how it would work. But it doesn't necessarily work for Jamaica because what? They don't vote for sheriff. They don't have their division divided particular in a particular way. They're not targeted. They don't have the resources as you know as we do.
But so why we don't have the resources, and why not targeted, and why we're not voting for them? Those are ideas that need to be put to the table. We have community level challenges and issues in Jamaica, and the knowledge that people have out there in the diaspora in Jacksonville ought to be shared. So yes, I don't see no reason why we should not be contemplating having people appoint them police rather than some political promotion to make this man inspector, and then you take him from here and you send him go over there, so him don't even have no family, no baby mother down in this community, but you send him down here to come and manage it. There is no connection with the community. Now when I have to choose in Maypen or in Mandeville somebody from that area as my person who live and understand the community, I stand a better chance of having good security. So
yeah, that's true. Like we could make the recommendation, like how it works in Jacksonville may be different from, say, for instance, New York, but we could have these inputs that we provide and say, this is what we'd recommend to the government. But I don't think you have to be on the Senate to do it. They do it now. They could provide these inputs with education. When you talk about going up to 18 years old, here, remember, you go all the way up to 18, I think. You go all the way, like additional years here. It works here, but you know what? They get a lot of assistance from government, you know, like parents, how much assistance Jamaica can afford to give to these parents, which is a big issue with paying and having to maintain these children until they're 18, when they're saying, all right, you're done high school, you need to go either find a job or something, you know what I mean? So it kind of different, but I that's why I don't say we could do other things that you are doing, the diaspora is doing right now. They do a lot. As now they have a thing coming up where they're going to adopt a clinic to help. You see where they're adopting schools, they are providing tablets, you know, like things that are needed, which I do think the government need to listen. But sitting on the Senate, I think they do more not being in the Senate than being in the Senate.
They should be represented. Any group that is contributing, I see no reason for them not to participate in the decision-making process. And some of these voices cannot change anything. What's the sense? The sense is just like everybody else there, that you're sharing your perspective. It is given thought. Some other person who's hearing it, yes, at the end of the day, it might not impact the final decision or whatever is the law that is being considered, but some of the time there's a cause for a rewrite. And when everybody is of the same ilk and the same mindset, then you don't have that very many perspectives, that wider understanding. And if it's to put one or two other people on there to give a different perspective to what is being considered, I'm not saying that they're going to implement what is being proposed, but it's even just to have the perspective for the consideration. People need to widen their minds more. And
but why not have people run for position as senator?
Well, I am quite happy with that. I am even happier with those kind of things.
Instead of the prime minister and the opposition, does people run?
People must run.
Aligned.
So see that diaspora would sit down in the Senate and say, why not allow people to run?
Really?
See the diaspora, brilliant perspective. Different. That is which one of them
somebody come in?
And say, well, all right, make us run fight. No, them don't want nobody run. They want them get appointed.
That would be better. Like some things they need to make people run fit. Just like how they have people running for the JTA.
Yes.
Yeah, they should have people running. But Carl said, what compound is action for me? Oh, I read that. Paulette said, No, Sandra said, hello, beautiful people, late, just getting home from work. Carl said she made an excellent point. It was produced by a Black producer. He made everyone look bad. 3 things you don't do to a Black man: slap, spit, and the N-word. This is what they did to Blacks in the South. Your point about having money is not about money. He stands to lose a lot. Paulette said, I don't agree. Sandra said, what did I miss? Jesse said, good evening, beautiful people. Carl said, how are senators appointed? Danny, you responded, do they have to be elected by vote firstly? Annette said, greetings. Dan said, no. Carl said, Jacksonville, me Tampa. Carl said, resource officers. Annette said, in the voice, if their voices cannot change anything, what the sense, Dr. Diana? What's the catch? I totally agree with Michelle. Sandra said, what, Miss Sorry? Paula said, not everything that works in the US will work in Jamaica. Carl said, they will become corrupt. Sandra said, okay, Jesse, glad you got home safely. Jesse said, hi, Leo. Carl said, Jamaican politicians don't listen to good ideas. Their mentality is how to trick voters so they stay in power. I mean, also, Leo, come on now if you can't defend in position, but the diaspora for the past Senate, come, state your point.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing that I saw that, and my problem is that the diaspora has been operating in a way that is non-political, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's an independent.
Yes. Once we start choosing senators that represent a party, then there's going to be another, and the whole diaspora going to turn into one political thing. Everything that we do from here is going to be political. Who is labor right? Who is PNP? Who is the independent?
Jamaica first.
Everything is going to be completely messed up. I am not for no senator, we are.
Oh, you agree with me?
Tell me, everybody, say, me, I'm not into this, because then we are going to become pawns for Jamaica. I mean, you know that. We need to operate independently of Jamaica and make our decisions as how we want to help Jamaica. Talk now, help Jamaica. Okay? A senator can only talk and not doing nothing. So, me know it.
Well, Leo, so good attack me.
Thank you very much. Now that button that you used to join, I'm going to ask you to press that button again.
It's a press. Agree with me.
I put up Smarty face. I don't put up Smarty foot, right?
That's fine. And I still maintain that the contribution, the economic and social contributions from the diaspora is well worth having a position to share a perspective. I never looked at it from a perspective that these individuals within the diaspora would be aligned or affiliated to any party. I saw it as an appointment that would be an independent position, which means that both sides would have to come together and agree as to who it is, just like it was done some long time ago when they appointed some independent senators. So from that perspective, I looked at it and said that another look at certain issues within the Senate would be beneficial to Jamaica.
We are a country, let me tell you what, we are a country that look towards our politicians as the ultimate leader, all right? Whether you want to admit it or not, right? Now, the ultimate leader, the power of the government will dictate who that senator is going to be. Now, if it's the PNP in power, that senator is going to be a PNP. And
no, but the person can be independent. Remember that they appointed some independent.
We can be idealistic as much as we want. We can be as idealistic, but idealism don't work when it comes to Jamaican politics. And we don't want it in the diaspora. We don't want it in the job. No, man, it's going to mess you up.
But unless we have another perspective and another voice out there.
No, but we could give it other ways, though, as I said. Like we could be on committees.
I don't agree with that, not even 1 second. We have been operating in a way. We have our problems, but we do not have political problems, Jamaican political problems. We don't have that. So everybody
We
just
have Jamaican political problems.
we do not have that in the diaspora.
Oh, in the diaspora. Okay.
We don't have the Jamaican political problem in it. We have talk. And people don't know who is JLP and who is PNP in the diaspora. Nobody don't know it. Because they're not sure. But once they decide that there's gonna be a senator who's representing the government and one represent the
Opposition.
we dead. We completely dead because all we want up here is power. Everybody go fight for who we want. Who me want that position. No, that they want to not get it.
Well, all right, Leo.
That is true.
Just take it down here. I will take the position down here and be the representative.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, strong point, Leo. Strong point. I agree. We don't need to be a senator. We just need to continue doing what we're doing and our contributions, which we do. Other day, tell them about this study that you did. You were talking about what the needs benefit, what they do, the education task force. Remember, you mentioned it. Like they look at the needs of what's needed and they target it and provide the need to assist to improve the education sector in Jamaica. Same with the health.
Not the political party.
Yeah, not the party.
Right.
Yeah, and actually, with politics, people go say, you know what? If I JLP, they do it, me not involved.
You not get my money.
Yeah, if I PNP, me not do nothing for you.
Trust
So
me,
yeah, the cycle. So if we want to keep the diaspora pure and giving back and doing what's best, I don't think it is wise.
Nope.
All right. Let me read the other news item. All right.
Let me read the comments. Let me read the comments before you move on.
Leo, we not think with up on YouTube, because we could have only pressed one button.
Only one
Okay, Sandra say, oh, Bessie, glad you got home safely. I read Jesse said, hi, Leo. You just appear like a duppy. Alex said, I agree with Leo. He said, hello. Carl said, my point exactly. Becomes corrupt like the politicians. Not all politicians are corrupt. Zizi said, when will I get to vote in Jamaica elections?
When you vote for Jamaica first.
Louis said, I agree with Leo on this one. So yeah, strong point. And yeah, it is good that they're bringing up for discussion.
Absolutely.
And I see people spoken about it in the diaspora who are in favor of it. But it is like you have to look at it from all angles. And yeah, it wouldn't be a good thing.
Listen,
it wouldn't be best.
I have been to diaspora conferences for the past 20 years, yes? And there is a big difference between when the diaspora conference is held by the PNP and difference when it's held by the JLP. Different set of people come. And you don't see a lot of the people who came in 2004, in 2012, that kind of thing and so forth. And trust me, man, you don't want this. We don't want this at all. So, me not support it.
Yeah, but I don't think they do need to get more senators that are familiar with the areas that they're going to be speaking on. And I do think they need to be trained and look within Jamaica to find if they need additional senators.
What did I say? I don't understand what you just said.
No, I said that they do need new senators that need to be trained, but they need to look within Jamaica to find those senators and who have experience in the field that they're going to be appointed.
Of course.
And so, yeah, but look within Jamaica.
Of course.
There are a lot of people who are able and up to task for the job.
No, there is another way we can do this now. There are lots of boards in Jamaica.
Yeah.
We can sit on boards and make...
Then it becomes another political appointment because who appoint boards?
No. If we sit on boards, we will retain, because there's...
We have a whole heap of board around here, so I'm not considering on board. Because what you're not acknowledging is that all of the board appointments are political. They all stem from the minister who has control for that particular ministry. So there's no escape.
Oh, so hold on there. The boards are not independent of government?
No, the boards, unless you're going to get placed on a private organization board, when that organization executive will determine who sits on it. But if you are going to sit on Jamaica College School Board, is a politician who appoint it,
Why would
appoint
that
the
be
chairman.
political?
Then who? Then the ministry and education and appoint them. And if you're going to sit on UE board or Air Jamaica or wherever, is all political appointment. You think that me can just get up and say I'm a good educator, want to put me on the board?
That makes sense, because other day when I was looking at the health one, the one for SCHRA, it was mostly political appointments on that board. Cause remember when the guy got in trouble with Floyd Green, they highlighted the boards that he was sitting
Right,
on,
and this
it
person
was
were
mostly
personal assistant to so and so and so.
Is what I'm talking about? This is ridiculous. It is absolutely
Totally different. So see, you know, this is Saturday we have to talk about BOARD or BORED.
Carl said, really name one. I know a few, but I won't mention them that I don't think are corrupt politicians. Carl Anderson said, how can one train a senator?
Huh?
Trelawney, yes.
Uncorrupt one, no confront Trelawney.
But how can they train? Yeah, they're supposed to go through training. I think they start doing it where they started training even MPs, ministers.
So hold on, who are train who?
Well, they do have government courses that they take to be trained. I do remember I watched a few. With England, like really, they do courses.
Oh, England.
And they send them go China, go train.
Oh, foreign.
So hear me.
Yeah.
You see, MPs have a constituency. MPs have a constituency. An MP, unless he is very good in the area of where they're going to place him, the ministry, should not.
Commerce manager.
Exactly. I mean, you going to pick up somebody who's just popular in the area and make him a minister?
I don't think they should. I agree with you. I don't think they should put them if they have no expertise.
This is where they should have professionals who they appoint into these positions.
Yeah, I do think that
should have set employment contracts that transition a government. So you don't have to get appointed as director for tourism board, and as soon as the government changed tonight, you know, say you work at risk tomorrow.
I mean, that's okay.
But it's the same everywhere.
It's okay, but however, the next person who's coming in must have had
some experience.
No, you never see it. But look here, you're not reading the Jamaican paper. We didn't go over it where there was so much right now in a particular ministry. People without first degrees are holding positions where the qualification, the minimum requirement is graduate degree.
Where you can't call it ministry? Where you can't call it ministry?
What's it the same? No, it's
so many of them. So many of them.
Yeah, well, it's a lot. Yeah, but yes, it kind of sticky.
Read the comment then, Michelle, because it's kind of sticky.
All right, so it becomes who you know pretty much. Carl said, I'm confused right now. Politicians, regardless of education, are selected because they can win a particular jurisdiction. Yeah, Carl, they do, but that's what we're saying. Sometimes these politicians are appointed to minister, like the Minister of Health, the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Education, that do not necessarily know anything about those ministry. So they're saying like people
look here, leave the Minister of Education out of it.
No example, not saying I don't know,
okay,
but just saying that's what they're saying.
That's why they have the upper house. That's why they have the Senate. The Senate, when they put people in the Senate, they appoint them because they have expertise. They make them ministers of this because they have expertise from the community and they can fill those jobs. They are national eyes. They can see big picture. But if you are like a popular local government guy and you move from local government to MP, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the broad scope.
Going to school and get no degree.
Say nothing about that, but
but I'm saying, I'm sharing that you move from one to the next, but you haven't garnered any greater understanding of any particular concept,
because look at this. Because look at the guy, Nigel. He's doing a good job because he has experience.
Yes, he have a PhD in math.
So he has the experience. That's why he's doing so well.
And also because the foundation had been laid. Don't forget it. That the foundation was laid. And so he is building on something that existed.
So
does have the capability to have designed it and articulated it, but it is made easier. Don't forget.
So what happened is this local government guy has a bad temper, a real bad temper. But people love him because him smile a lot and him really generous and stuff. And he moving bad temper from local government to MP, to member of parliament. Him still have bad temper and him still beat a man and him still draw a gun upon people and all him something there. And him now move from MP now to minister. Right? Still with him same angry,
anger management issues. Will Smith attitude. Will Smith attitude.
Will Smith.
Oh, man.
How different.
Okay. All right. So
a different thing.
That we have to be careful of who we put. We want people in positions that can retain calm, people person, understand them job, understand agriculture, the science of agriculture. Not just understand how the plant grow, but understand the science and how it impacts the economy and can roll back down. That's what we want, right?
Yes.
Lawrence says, see
the technology too.
Lawrence said, see there. Lawrence, I laugh off the way. Beverly said, corruption is pervasive in all human systems. That is true. Lawrence said, like molasses. Mavis said, Wagan bad a morning can't come good at evening. It's from one party to another. That is true. Carl said, who has zero experience in that field? See the problem with Jamaica. Carl said, that's BS. Z said, entertainers have become presidents and senators.
Yeah.
Well, down in Ukraine, you have the comedian, but he's a trained attorney.
Exactly, and people keep forgetting
not
that.
Just a comedian who get up out of high school. He has all the qualifications.
Yeah, but a lot of people miss that. I was going to say that. Yeah.
I am not saying that you have to be an attorney to lead a country. You don't have to be an attorney.
No.
Attorney is one segment, one part of what we need.
I'm just saying that the Ukraine Prime Minister is not just a comedian. He's a trained attorney.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, Paulette said, unfortunately, the people want that type of leader with a bad temper and bad attitude.
I don't know. Probably people are just simply intimidated and don't have no afraid. Or sometimes it seems like a good idea and they go with it and figure they don't have no option. Or this are the best option.
Which makes
these
sense.
are number of issues. Leo, before you came, we spoke about the less gun violence, but the increase in stabbings in Jamaica. We spoke about the anger management and the need for concentration in that area.
And you talk about the fact that we Jamaicans have anger problem, right?
Yes,
serious.
But I think we probably need to delve or to devote some further time to anger management, what it is, how do we manage it in a serious way? We need some professional to come and have that conversation. How do you manage in your home anger issues, so that when your child go to school, so that you don't have a stepson stabbing him stepfather to death over some bathroom foolishness. You have, and also that you have mental health help in the nation, so that a mad uncle not resided in a house with a 13-year-old boy, and then the mad uncle stabbed the 13-year-old boy to death.
Hey, listen, the kind of anger that we have is mental problem, you know?
Mental.
Yes,
I
but
think so too.
but you have the persons who are diagnosed. Me and you mad. It's true we mad. All right, Michelle not mad. But the two of me and you, Leo, mad.
We don't know that.
We don't know that we're mad. But
Yeah,
we
that's not true.
have been diagnosed and said, yes, they are mad. And they get sent back into the house to live in the yard.
And then
Yeah.
after the medication.
We don't have anywhere to put them.
That is true. I will have said, oh, I'm mad at that. Sure. Yeah. That's how we did do. Mad at.
And we don't have anywhere to
continue.
And the problem is, you know, if they're not on the street, if they're on the street, we complain, because they can't up on the street, we can't play for place to put them. So that's what the problem is.
Yeah, but how about ensuring that they get their medication?
Yeah, but we need to recognize that mental health is a sickness, and it's not, them can't operate in the same space, and that we don't have sufficient social support system within reasonable distances, so that when I'm in a community up in Croftsill, in Upper Clarendon, up at the top of Bullhead Mountain, I don't have to come all the way down to Mapen. I have to take him in a taxi, or somebody have to come from Mapen with the medication to get to him, and somebody have to hold him down for give me medication.
But I have no money for buy the medication either, so you know, buy food.
Yeah, that's our next thing, and that's how the diaspora come in. But God, doesn't they provide assistance? Like sometimes they do, you know, special programs where they provide.
Once the senator comes into play, then we have to find out if that person's a JLP or a PNP before you get my money, right?
See, that's a problem. But they do try a lot. Let me read some of the comments. Oh, my time is going. ZC said it's entanglement of Will's brain, so him take it out pancreas. I bet him when he hit at one of them rapper. Carl said get a psychologist to speak about anger management. Carl said it's possible for someone with common sense and a sense of wanting to do good become a great leader. But in Jamaica, you expose these people to power and money. All they care about is the money. Where do MPs get money to hand out to their supporters? Paulette said they don't have anywhere to put the folks with mental health issues and they can't afford the medication. Same thing that Leah said, that is true. Sandra said, them just need to drink fever grass tea if you calm down. Jamaica responds to everything.
I'm busy.
Jamaica responds to everything. But my 1 hour done already. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
A little longer.
Yeah, but we'll be back again on Saturday morning at
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Eastern time. If you're in Jamaica, 9 a.m.
9 o'clock.
All right. And remember, people, COVID, it really they rage again. People, it's raging again. Even though they recommend another booster for people 50 and over.
That's good. So, that's good. Something need it.
True. So remember,
that's 2 booster, 2 shot and 2 booster.
Okay. Yeah, another one. So remember, people, to sanitize, wear your mask, social distance. If you don't have to go out and do anything, stay home. Right? And see you on Saturday.
You have to go to school, so you go along to school and stop there, and fight.
Yeah.
Some people never want to come out tonight, but it's all right.
Leo, it was so happy having you, even though you came with a
great
perspective. But
having you.
Look forward to Saturday.
Good night, everyone.